Yeah, Bradley Beal just got traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns to go with Chris Paul and Landry Shamet, basically two role players, going on to Washington. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns is in a blockbuster trade, get Bradley Beal to form an official big three with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. And then DeAndre Ayton, I think most likely he's going to be out of Phoenix because he doesn't want to be there. And he has no problem with Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel actually wants to keep DeAndre Ayton. But before we break down the Phoenix Suns trade with the Washington Wizards, do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers. Hit the ring notification where you get all the notifications anytime I drop content on this channel. Hit that share button. Share it to anybody you want on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Your name is going to go there. So we're going to get right into this deal. So right now, the Phoenix Suns, they gave up all their second round picks, and all they did was swap the first round picks with the Washington Wizards. They have no more control over their picks. And then at the same time, the luxury cap is like $167.5 million. The Phoenix Suns are $167 million. So in order to even get under that, they have to trade DeAndre Ayton. But let's just say they don't trade DeAndre Ayton. They got to basically take a lot of guys on literally 1 year minimum contracts, so they don't have any more tax mid-level exceptions. They can't do that. You literally have to just fill your roster up with a bunch of role players. And this is the thing. You're still not better than the Denver Nuggets. That's how they lost to the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, because they didn't have enough role players, they didn't have no bench, and they couldn't play no defense. Defense and role players. That's how you lost to the Denver Nuggets. And haven't we learned our lesson? You got Nikola Jokic, who's one of the best big men in the game, the best center, and he's a top 3 player in the NBA right now, is the reigning NBA Finals MVP. And then you had Jamal Murray. Jokic is going to do what he does. But when you got Jamal Murray, who is a scorer and can put the ball in the bucket and go get you some points, that's what you need. And you had a bunch of role players like KCP, who was a 2-time champion now. You had Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. didn't necessarily do as much, but he did enough. You had Jeff Green, a veteran. You had guys on this roster who you could have. I forgot all about Bruce Brown, another role player. So what you need today, how the CBS trying to have it set up, you want 1 or 2 superstars on the team. They don't want no more big threes. They want you to have 1 or 2 superstars and just have a roster full of role players, which I ain't gonna lie, so I don't have no problem with it, because I come from the era of Dirk Nowitzki, where he was the only superstar and you had a bunch of role players, where you had a Dwayne Wade. Even though he had Shaq, they had a bunch of role players. And you even had a later Boston Celtics, their big three. Even though they was kind of towards the end of their prime, you still had a bunch of role players that worked with it. Now there's this big three, they're trying to annoy all that. So my thing is now, does this make the Phoenix Suns better? And maybe a touch, but you still don't have no bench. You still have no bench scoring, and you still have no defense. And DeAndre Ayton does not want to be there. He does not like Devin. He does not like Devin Booker. He did not like Chris Paul. Now Chris Paul is out. By the way, Washington Wizards are going to waive him. By the way, he's not going to be there, and he's going to give him a little bit more money on top of that. He's just earned an extra $9 million, and they can do multiple things as far as letting him go. We ain't talking about that. We're going to stay on Phoenix. And then now, like I said, Frank Vogel, he wants DeAndre Ayton to stay, because one thing you got to give Frank Vogel, he loves big men now. He had Roy Hibbert, who was like a big 7'2" center. He was averaging a double-double. He was like a 1 or 2-time All-Star. And then he had Anthony Davis with JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard when he was with the Lakers. And then now you turn around, he's got a good big man in DeAndre Ayton. But DeAndre Ayton, he's the type of big man you got to get going early, get him some touches, get him the ball, let him get rolling, let him get going. He's going to do better for you on the defensive end as far as rebounding, blocking shots, and these deteriorating shots. That's all you really need him to do. But thing is, they tried to lessen his role as a big man. Chris Paul and Devin Booker did. That's why they did not get along. And now they need to ship him out, because what you need to do, they need a point guard. So because Devin Booker is a great player, but he's a naturally born scorer. He's not a guy that's just going to sit there, I'm going to lead the offense, orchestrate the offense, and I'm going to calm everybody down. That's not him. He tried it in the playoffs, and he was great. He was shooting efficient. He was shooting like offensive numbers that was out of this world. Shooting like over 60% from the field. What was one game he even shot like 72% from the field, but that's not going to last long. And he was a playmaker. He's not an orchestrator. He's not going to calm the offense down when they need a bucket and just like the offense is out of control. That's not him. Chris Paul was the real floor orchestrator. Now that Chris Paul is gone, now they're trying to give their hands in Devin Booker, unless you get a point guard who on a vet minimum to fill that role, which is hard because not a lot of guys out there. So now what Devin Booker, he's got to turn from a scorer into now a facilitator and a little bit of a scorer, because now Bradley Beal, yeah, he's the third option, but thing is, everybody can't score. You need role players to score, and they don't have it. Cameron Payne's their only role player. I mean, Terrence Craig's their only role player. That's not going to get it done. So now you got to trade DeAndre Ayton. Go get you some role players. You need to swap that out because he's making a lot of money himself. But now you got 3 max guys. Right now you got 4 max guys on your roster right now. I'm assuming that they're going to trade DeAndre Ayton. So they're going to give him 3 max guys, and they still won't be better than the Denver Nuggets. I don't like the trade. I didn't understand the trade. I thought Bradley Beal was going to go to Miami because Miami are for Kyle Lowry and they're for Duncan Robinson. And they offer, I think, 1 or 2 first-round picks. And that should have been enough to get Bradley Beal to Miami. But Bradley Beal basically probably said, because he's the one that had the no-trade clause. He's the one that probably said, hey, I don't want to go to Miami. I want to go to Phoenix. And Phoenix said, let's go get this done. I know James Jones, he's the one that made the move. But let's look at the new ownership now because he wanted to make a splash now. Because it's the thing, though. The Phoenix Suns really didn't need Kevin Durant. But under the new owner, he said he wanted to make a splash. And you know what he wanted to do? And when told him, go get Kevin Durant. And want another big splash? You know what? Let's go get Bradley Beal. And this is the thing, Bradley Beal, he's been a great player for this league. Problem is, though, he has not been healthy over the past couple of years now. And he's a good defender. Kevin Durant, he's a pretty good defender. He's a better help defender than he is a one-on-one defender. He can block some shots. Devin Booker's gotten better as a defender. But you still don't have the team in order to beat the Denver Nuggets. I still don't even see this team being better than the Los Angeles Lakers with a healthy LeBron James, with a healthy Anthony Davis, who's motivated at least. And if they can find a way to even get Kyrie Irving on there, that's certainly not better than them. But as of right now, the Phoenix Suns, even with this move, let me see, I probably got them as I'll say about a top 4, top 5 seed in the West, but still just don't make them better because you don't have a bench, you don't have no defense, and that's 2 things you're not winning with. We ain't learned nothing from the Denver Nuggets this past year, or even other championship teams. Even with the Stephen Curry Golden State Warriors before Kevin Durant, you have to have role players. The Warriors had a Sean Livingston, they had a Mo Buckets, they had a Leandro Barbosa, they had an Andrew Bogut, they had a David Lee, they even had a Harrison Barnes, who was a role player at that one point. You have to have role players on your team that's going to be able to get it done and win you a championship. You can get the names, you can get the stars. It'll be great on NBA 2K. But as far as real life, I don't see this team being. They're going to be an NBA Finals contender, but do I see them getting there? No, because they're still not better than Phoenix. You don't have, Denver, You don't have anybody better than Nikola Jokic. And I just don't see this trade. I don't like the trade. Don't see this being just that team that's going to way over the top that's just better than the rest of the league. No, so let me know what y'all think, man. Leave a comment in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button. Share the video. Man, hey, we haven't even hit free agency yet. We got the NBA draft coming up. And if this is how the NBA is going to be with all these trades that's going to happen, man, boy, y'all better get your popcorn ready because it's going to be crazy. So y'all hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section.